Ladies and gentlemen, it's a somber day today. America is under siege, not only by foreign powers, but by domestic powers as well. Do you know the oath of office the President and the members of the Senate take when they are about to take their office? Let me read it to you. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take the obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God. That is not happening, ladies and gentlemen. Foreign powers are already attacking the United States of America in so many ways. And because politicians are allowing them to do that, they themselves are not well and faithfully discharging the duties of their office. So we are under siege by both foreign powers and domestically by our own politicians. That needs to change today. Here is a perfect example of how that's going on with our food supply.
I spent many years, about 20 years, suing the factory farms, the big hog farms, and the big chicken producers like Tyson and Bo Pilgrim and Frank Perdue. But Smithfield Foods was the biggest pork producer. And Smithfield came to the state of North Carolina. They built a slaughterhouse that could process 30,000 pigs a day. And then they had a partner named Wendell Murphy, who was in the state senate, and he passed 28 laws in the North Carolina state senate making it illegal to sue a factory farm. He left and went into partnership with Smithfield, created a way to raise pigs instead of raising them on farms, to raise them in warehouses called Murphy 1100s. And they dropped the price of pork from 60 cents a pound to 2 cents a pound. It put out of business all 28,000 independent hog farmers in the state of North Carolina, and it replaced them with 2,200 factories, all of them either owned by Smithfield or contracted to Smithfield. The only farmers who could stay in business were farmers who signed that contract with Smithfield to mortgage their homes, to put those big hog sheds, the Murphy 1100s, on their property. And then they lose all control. They become serfs on their own land. Smithfield dictates all their farming practices. It gives them the food. It delivers the piglets, picks up the grown animals, and brings them to slaughter. They put out of business 28,000 farmers. And they control now 80% of the hog production in North Carolina. Because they dropped the price in North Carolina, Iowa had to adopt the same system, had to cave in to Smithfield. They ended up taking control of 80% of the hog production in our country. Then they sold themselves to China. So now China owns all that hog production in America, and it controls our landscapes. And that's the end of Thomas Jefferson's vision of an American democracy rooted in tens of thousands of independent freeholds, each one owned by family farmers, each with a stake in our system of government. And that's why all of this industrial agriculture not only gives us substandard food, but they're also taking control of our landscapes, and that is a huge threat to American democracy.
Exactly. What's going on is a huge threat to our national security. Can't we see that? We are under siege right now by foreign and domestic powers.
Everywhere you look, small and medium-sized farms being gobbled up by these corporate mega farms.
When our government actually expropriates our farmers, we're all next.
Not just Holland is now facing these types of regulations, but you can see the attack on farmers all over the world. It's an agenda that is carried out on a global level, that is being pushed through government officials in respective countries.
Right now, things have tripled as far as costs for my own farming operation and for many farmers across the country. And I think you're going to see across the board higher food prices.
Food prices are already up dramatically this year, last year a little bit too, and we might see more empty shelves in America. The people are the ones that are going to be hurt not just farmers, trying to make a living. It's going to be the food supply of this country, which is a staple of our security of our nation.
I think the end goal of the war on farmers that we're seeing, which is guided at every step by the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030, is going to be a total consolidation of agriculture, a total consolidation of the food supply, and as every communist tyrant of the last 100 years has understood, if you control the food, you control the people. I think that's ultimately the end goal.
Stop the insanity, my friends. Term limits now. Extreme term limits now. No more legal lobbying. No more career politicians. I'm Ray, and that's the truth at 5.